Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome back once again to Building a Podcast. I'm your host, Matticus Bricks. Joining me tonight is Obi-Wan Kenobricks. Now, I unfortunately was not able to make it to the last 2 weeks due to just some unforeseen circumstances that arose, but I'm really happy to be back. Happy to be discussing Lego with at least one half of my fellow podcast hosts. Ethan also regrettably could not join us tonight, but he will be rejoining us next week. So we have a really good show lined up for you tonight. Do you want to tell them a little bit about what's on the docket for us tonight, Mr.
Absolutely, yes. So we, of course, have your regular news that we'll be sharing as per usual, the news per usual. And then we have our element of the week, which is, again, a spooky element because we are in the Halloween season. However, it is kind of an unexpectedly spooky element. So I'll leave that to your imagination until we get to that point. And then we are bringing you our top 10 Lego sets of all time, each of our individual picks. So Matticus will be sharing his number 10. I will then share my number 10, and then we'll go up numerically until we reach number 1. And we actually were somehow able to manage not sharing these with each other prior to this moment. So in fact, neither of us know anything about the others. It was quite a I actually had to put a sticky note on my computer as I was loading the slides in so I wouldn't see them. But hey, we got it done. All right. So
yep, whatever works, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna try to, there we go. I've got our slideshow going here for those of you who are watching, but just, it's usually Ethan's role here to do the slides. So bear with me if they are not the way that you would expect or hope them to be.
It's also Ethan's role to get us started with the Lego news. So both of us are just, we're flying. We're doing it.
Yep, that's absolutely right. We'll be okay. But anyway, we do have some great content for you today, especially in the news section. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. So
this is a good news week.
It is, yeah. So with interesting things, I think we're going to just kind of throw those right into the respective segments where they actually land. So we're going to jump into Lego sales. Matticus, are you aware of any particular sales going on right now?
I think it's a lot of just the same stuff that's been going on. I'm not entirely sure if anything new has popped up. How about you?
Well, yeah, the only thing I would say is that this is the time of year I would start looking for things to go on clearance on your retail stores, your big box stores. You still can get the advent calendar sets for a significant discount if you shop at like Costco or Sam's Club, I believe.
Yes.
So those are some good opportunities. I know Walmart has that really good price on the Galaxy Explorer, which, you got to take advantage of that, right? So
$75, and that is still running.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
That's one of the best sets I've bought all year.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
I actually, now that you mention it, I do remember that Amazon is running a promotion right now. There's like select Lego sets. You spend $50 and get a $10 gift card. Target might be doing that right now. That's something that Target does often. I don't know specifically what sets they have, but I do remember seeing the succulents, and they're on sale already. So, get yourself 2 succulents and you got a nice $10 gift card back at you.
Exactly. Yeah, I did know that Target was doing that. That's right. Because I saw that in the store. I also wanted to mention just, if anybody's out there in the wild and they happen to see the 25% off a single toy sign out there, I posted this on my TikTok channel as well, but it doesn't hurt to also repeat it here. That promotion does not apply to Lego. It explicitly says excludes Lego, but I have seen at multiple different Target stores where they have actually put this sign on a shelf that only has Lego on it. So beware on that a little
They're
bit.
Intentionally, it's just super misleading.
It absolutely, definitely felt like that to me. I don't know what's going on there.
I feel like right now we're on the cusp of some serious Lego sale season, though.
Yes.
It's just kind of the way things go with retail. Maybe right now it's a slow week, but I feel like, in the coming weeks, we're going to have some pretty good sales coming up with Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Hopefully, there will be some really nice stuff to look forward to.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. So we're kind of gearing up for that. Right now is not, the highest quantity of sales, but they're coming because Lego knows that you'll be looking for sets for Christmas, whether for you or for someone else.
Absolutely. Mostly for me.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Give yourself the gift of Lego this Christmas.
Yeah. I don't have a child. I have a me.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's perfectly fine, right?
My inner child. That's who I'm buying gifts for.
Exactly. I always buy gifts for my inner child.
Right? Too many. Too many.
Trying not to throw too many fits, though.
Yeah, well, they throw fits, I think, when when we don't buy ourselves the gifts we want. I think that's when we start throwing our
That's
fits.
right. Or when the set goes away before you can get it.
Oh my God! Speaking of, we do
Yeah.
have a situation like that to mention.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's look at our newly revealed sets first, because we do have a
Yes.
little sneak peek going on here today. Would you like to share a little bit about that? Because there were some interesting things there.
I would love to. So, if you haven't seen it already, yesterday Lego announced basically the results of the newest Lego Ideas review period. I believe it was for the first review period of 2022. So they've announced some results, and this is history. This is the first time that Lego has ever approved 4 projects from a single review period.
Wow.
In the past, we'd be lucky to get like one set.
Mhm.
Actually, I recall, I don't know if you do, but there was one review period where they approved nothing.
Yeah.
That was really sad. But I think that now they've kind of seen the potential for Lego Ideas, and it's a shame that Ethan isn't here to discuss this, because this is
I
really his
know.
wheelhouse.
Oh, it's his favorite theme. Yeah.
I know. We're just kind of taking his history from him to talk about
Stealing the thunder there.
the historic episode where Building a
I
Podcast
know.
discussed the first 4 sets approved in one Ideas review period.
I know.
Yeah, this is one for the history books.
Yeah, so those
So,
are some pretty neat looking sets, very unique,
right.
especially the insect one there. That
Yeah.
is
So
really interesting.
let's start with that by going through the first 4 sets. This is the Lego Insects by Hachiroku24. This is really cool. I love the design of the butterfly. I actually have been like trying to figure out how to build a Lego butterfly for a while,
Hmm.
and I like the way that he did this with the colors all like kind of stacked with the bricks built kind of sideways.
Yeah.
Nice little snot technique, and then if you look closely, you can see that he uses the angles of the sloped pieces so that they're not built totally like studs all going in one direction. It's kind of like
Hmm.
at an angle to get that shape of the butterfly wings. The other bugs look really nice too. What do you think about them, Thomas?
Yeah, my favorite is that beetle with the those flexible pieces, the curved pieces that create that sort of
Oh,
beak to it. It's just so it's clean and simple, and definitely makes me think of like the Mummy, but
yeah.
it's like the scarab.
Oh, I know. That one's much less scary. I want to pick that guy up and just like play with him, you
He's a
know?
little cuddly, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
that
that's so
sand
nice.
green is good too. I
The
hope they
sand
keep it
green
in
is
that
great.
color.
I know,
Yeah.
maybe even some printing for like they got some really pretty
Oh
like
yeah.
wings on the beetles.
Hmm.
Speaking of printing, if you look closely at that ladybug, it almost looks like he just used a Sharpie marker to color the dots onto that curved dome. I don't know if that's actually what happened or if it was edited, but it just kind of gave me that
Yeah.
impression.
I couldn't see closely enough on that. And
Yeah.
and also to be fair, those of you who are looking at the images of these ideas sets, we do want to reiterate again that these are, the preliminary images are the
Right.
fan models. These are what the fans submitted and got approved. So the final model will not look exactly like that, but it'll be based off of it.
Yeah, so a little bit about how Lego Ideas works is that once a project receives 10,000 supporters, it goes into a review period, and I think it's 4 review periods per year. There's quarters.
I think you're right.
I think it's quarters. And every set that qualified goes into basically this like review round where Lego designers look at it and see, is this feasible? Can we make this into a Lego set? And now that
Hmm.
this has been approved, we're probably looking at, I don't know, what do you say, like at least a year, year and a half
Oh yeah,
before we end
it'll
up
be some
seeing
time
this.
out.
Yeah, I'm anxiously awaiting the Hocus Pocus set that has been in
I
this stage for a
know. I
while.
was just thinking about that one. The
I
Sanderson sisters cottage.
they have to have that out in time for next Halloween. Like that's
I
got
know.
to be like a next summer release because otherwise, what's the point? Like,
Yes, yes. You kind of
um,
got to ride that wave when it's popular, you
yeah,
know.
yeah. So this one ends up being redesigned by a Lego designer, and that's what becomes the official set.
Yes. Now, I mean, usually
Um,
they're very, reminiscent of the original design, but I've seen some
yeah,
where they made some substantial changes, though, and a lot of that
substantial.
goes into the way that, of course, designers have to go off of what pieces are actually available out of their catalog, out of what Lego
Yes,
says they can use at this time. They don't have the luxury of using anything that pieces that have been retired from inventory or pieces that are not common enough to be justifiable for the set. So
that's very
there's some
true.
considerations with them usually.
And they also have some rigid rules about, what constitutes an illegal building technique. They
Oh
are,
yeah, yeah.
not able to use anything that somebody would not be able to like build, recreate
Hmm.
themselves at home. And it has to feel like a Lego set.
Yes, yes, and then that's a really great point too. The
Right.
the ability for mass people to be able to actually build it based off of instructions. Sometimes you
Right.
see mocks that use really just out there techniques, and even if it's not technically illegal by Lego standards, it might be outside the realm of feasibility for the average builder
Right.
to just do. So
Right.
that's a
Like
consideration too.
my curved wall technique that I've been working on, or the very common curved wall technique where you use a 1x2 brick and a 1x1 cylinder, and you just stack those and then you curve it. That there's no way that they could
Mhm.
instruct you to, curve your Lego
Well,
like that. So,
yeah. I mean, they can't tell you, like, make sure it's at a 12-degree angle. I mean, come
oh
on.
yes, they're gonna start including a protractor with every
Yes.
brick
Oh, that'd be
separator.
helpful, wouldn't it?
That would
Yeah.
be so helpful. The Lego protractor.
Yeah,
Um,
I'd buy it.
hitting shelves just in time for Christmas.
Shit.
That's
Oh, man.
but
Just make it
anyway,
way more complicated, why don't you?
yeah,
Jeez.
right. So this is the Orient Express, a legendary train by Let Dots Go. Let's go. Um, this is cool. The Orient Express is a really iconic train. It's a luxury train. I don't know that much about it except that there was apparently a murder on this train at some point. The Orient
Ah, yes.
Express.
Murder
Yeah,
on the Orient Express.
right.
Yes.
So very um, I don't know. What do you think about this? I'm not a train guy.
I like trains. I just
I
don't,
like trains.
Yeah, it looks cool. I mean, there's really not much to see out of the fan model, really. So I don't have an
Yeah,
enormous amount of opinion to share on it.
it's a
But
train.
yeah, I mean, I'm sure it'll look great. That last one that they had that was the really cool train part. It was the crocodile.
Mm,
You
I
know which
don't
one I'm
know what
talking
that
about?
thing was. Yeah, but I don't know what
Oh,
it was.
I
Like
don't.
it was
And
just a
that's the same
single
thing.
piece of a train
I get
part.
that same vibe from this one.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm looking at.
It's fine. I'm sure it'll be amazing, and I would love to actually like see it in person. I think that
Right,
would probably help me to
right,
visualize
right.
better. But I mean, you think about the detail that they put into the ultimate Hogwarts Express set.
Oh, that thing is amazing.
It's phenomenal. So I have no doubt that the detail on this engine is going to be way up there too. It'll be a lot
Have
of fun to see.
Have you seen it in person? The Hogwarts Express?
No, I haven't had a chance to see it in person yet.
Dude,
Well, I mean, other than like seeing the box in person.
it's massive. It's massive.
Jeez.
You ever see those like crazy 6 foot long subs that they make for like birthday parties sometimes?
Yeah.
It's like
Okay.
that, but the
Nom
Hogwarts
nom.
Express. Yeah, you should. Yeah, it makes you hungry. I
Sounds
absolutely love it.
delicious.
If I wanted to get that set, I'm telling you, I'd have to clear this top shelf. It would take up the whole thing.
Wow, man,
Yeah.
what a
I
massive display piece. It's
so
pretty
yeah.
cool.
So for me, like I would if I'm gonna get a high end train, I'm getting the Hogwarts Express
Yeah, no, that
more than
that
this.
tracks.
Yeah.
Oh, I said that tracks. Huh, train pun.
Ah.
Ah, yeah. Well, I wonder how I didn't look up the length of the Hogwarts Express in comparison with the Titanic. I mean, the Titanic is pretty mammoth already. It's Titanic, you
Yeah.
might say.
All right. I'm gonna cut you off on that. Let's go on
I
to the
know,
next
right?
set.
Yes. Whoop.
So this is Tales of the Space Age by John Carter. I really like this
I
one.
love this set.
It's
Yeah,
so
or
cute. Like,
this image.
it's like these retro sci-fi influence like posters, like where, you know, I like that this proves that you don't have to have a lot of pieces to make something really beautiful and like aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah,
Like
this
just look at how he gets those gradients, those like those ombre sunset. I love it. It's so cool.
it definitely has a very like 1960s space ambition type
Hmm.
of vibe to it as well.
Yeah.
That's really something. I can't wait to see how that gets reimagined in a Lego set for
Mhm.
reals.
Oh, absolutely. The one thing that I really hope they keep is the way that they did the eclipse technique. If you look closely, it's like that dish that has the studs in the middle,
Uh-huh.
and there's two of them. The one on the bottom is gray, and then the one on the top is black. So you actually like stack it so that you make it's literally making an eclipse.
Yeah.
And oh, it's so simple but so brilliant, and that's just something I really love about
Yeah, I
Lego.
feel like that's really out of the box kind of thinking with
Hmm.
use of the parts. You know,
It
it's I
really
mean,
is.
it's definitely not your typical build technique.
Oh
So
yeah,
very cool. And then lastly,
I gotta get
haha,
this one.
yes. Yeah,
Uh,
the Polaroid.
this is the one that's got me sold, like, from day one. I don't even have a real Polaroid, but I guess I need to get one now. But,
Yeah.
this is so cool. I am such a fan of the weird, like, you know, I built this out of Lego, and it didn't have to be built out of Lego, but I did it anyway.
Right, yeah. Like
Yeah,
the
the
Game Boy.
NES, the Atari, my Game Boy,
Yeah.
the Atari, it goes right along with that. So I
Yeah.
think it's nostalgic, it's colorful, it's striking, it's instantly recognizable. You look at it and you're like, oh my God, this is Lego. I love it.
Exactly. Yeah, and they've done a couple of different cameras in the past. They had that GWP camera. Oh no, it wasn't a GWP. It was a yeah, I'm looking at some interesting comments that came up there that I think we want to not have come up on there. There we go. Okay. Uh, it was a what was it? It was like a you could redeem VIP points for this camera a while back, and it was gone
Yes.
way before I could actually get it. So you know,
Yes.
I'm excited that this might be
This one is
a
super
thing.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait to see the packaging, honestly.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm
Mhm.
really kind of hoping it's kind of like a Polaroid, camera
Like
box.
the box. You know, seeing what they did with the Adidas sneaker, I feel like they're very likely to do something like
Oh
that.
man, I know. Well, and who was it that actually built something like this already? Wasn't it um, Alec, the
Master Builder Alec?
master builder Alec?
Oh,
Yeah,
he
didn't
can
he
build
build something like
anything.
this? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
probably.
Yeah.
He's Master Builder Alec.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, we all aspire. I don't know, actually. Maybe he did.
I'll
Um,
have to go back and look now. Yeah.
yeah, I'd be interested to see because you know, like the way that they did the typewriter, it includes like the actual like printed
Oh
letter.
yes,
I would
yes,
Be cool if this came with an actual like Polaroid or Polaroid replica that had some
yes.
kind of like photo of something Lego related, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, I could see that being really cool. I could also see them including like a camera strap. That would be really neat. I don't know if they would actually go to that point, but that would be like piece de la
Did the guitar
resistance on that.
straps the
That's
for the
true.
Fender guitar.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
I would
Okay,
say
I'm holding
that's
my
a
breath.
safe bet. It might
Yeah.
even just use the same piece depending on the scale.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah.
So those are our upcoming ideas sets that have been
Yes.
made it through this round of approval, which is extremely exciting. So,
Very.
but yeah, let's soldier on to the next group here. Okay, so reiterating, guys, there are sets that will be going away. I think we have talked
Very
about
soon.
this a couple of times before, but um, go to Lego's website, lego.com, and then look at the list on there, and that is always going to be up to date, reflecting what is going away. So, um, take a look there, make sure that you're up to date on what's not going to be here, because once it's gone, the price is going to go
We're
up astronomically.
getting
Um,
down to the wire for our last chance to buy a
yes.
couple sets. In fact, it may actually have already passed your last chance to buy two sets.
Hmm.
The Imperial Star Destroyer, UCS, and the Disney Castle.
Yeah, so you'll have to check your local Lego store
Yep.
to see what their inventory is, but these are they're officially on back order on lego.com, which means that there is at least a possibility that even if you place an order for these, it won't be fulfilled because they're going away. They may not be there. So check your local Lego store, call them, or your local Lego Discovery Center. They have an entirely different inventory because they're not technically the Lego group. So yeah, that's gonna be your Only hope, Obi-Wan. So, all right. But hey, with that, let's get on
Yes.
to our exciting element of the week.
So tonight actually makes the grand finale of our spooky pieces all
I
month,
know.
because I love Halloween and I'm going to miss this little segment. I've been trying to pick pieces that align with Halloween. And so a lot of the elements that I picked in the past were, we had the pumpkin that, kind of like this guy. We did the bat, and then, see, why am I suddenly blanking on the other one? We did the ghost, the ghost shroud.
Yes,
Those
yes,
are
the
very
ghost.
specific pieces.
Yeah.
This week's element is not quite as specific. It is the tooth. And we're actually going to talk about two varieties of this, but this is the one that was introduced first in 2004. It is a 1x1 plate that has a little tooth attached to it. And yeah, but it doesn't have to be a tooth if you use your imagination. And that's kind of why I selected this for the element of the week. It comes in 26 colors, too many to list.
Oh,
It's
yeah, yeah.
super common part that you can find, all over the place. It's actually appeared in 600 sets.
Yeah.
Yeah, astronomical.
Yeah, and
600
tons of
sets.
gear and books and
Yeah,
all
books and
kinds of
everything.
places. It's crazy.
It really is. But it's a very versatile element that doesn't necessarily have to be used as a tooth. I have seen it used as ears for, various critters. You could use it for like claws. You could use it as like architectural detailing. I've seen it used in a lot of ways. Look at this. What do we have? Is this
Here's
a throwback?
this is a ship from the Knights Kingdom 2. And
Yeah, man.
first off, what is novel about this is the fact that they used dragon wings for the sails. But
I
then
always thought that was
secondly,
crazy.
yeah, right. I never would have thought of that. That is really interesting use of pieces. But then secondly, they did use that tooth there in the front of the what is that, the stern or whatever?
I
No,
don't
the whatever,
honestly, it's
the
like a
stick that
battering
sticks
ram.
out of the front.
The
Yeah, it's
stick that
that. Yeah.
sticks out, the plow,
I don't know my
the
ship
trough,
terminology today,
the
apparently.
bow, the bow.
Yeah. I mean, I'd Google it, but then I'd just be embarrassing myself. Oh, and then
Yeah,
they actually used bionicle pieces here to connect these too. Isn't that weird?
yeah,
So you can completely position them anywhere.
we
But
really
yeah,
did.
yeah. That's probably my favorite use because it's like the only one that I have that uses that. Other than like using it in a portcullis. I really like that use there.
Yes. Very good. So, yeah, it was a little hard to pin down a piece because specific usage because it's used all over the place. But I felt like it has a lot of spooky applications. You can really make some creepy monsters with this one. But I also wanted to include the other variety of this element, which is the vertical version. Where do we have a photo of that on the
I
side?
do not,
Ah,
because fail. Yeah, but it comes
well,
out and then comes down.
that is quite all right. So yeah, you picture what you're looking at, except it bends over. So it kind of is the same element, but it has like an overhang. So it's sort of like Dracula, his fangs. God,
That's
and
good. That's going
like,
on the highlight reel.
I think you're kicking me out of the pod after that.
No, that's going on the highlight reel.
It is often used as like an icicle type of piece. Hold on, we can do this.
You got one?
I might.
Let's see it.
Oh, excellent. So this is from the Harry Potter, like the Yule Ball set, where you can see like these, like icicles on the side of.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I like the potential for maybe using this to create curtains. If you put this in like different colors and you say you alternate it over a window, then it's like a little curtain hanging down. I think it's just like a nice usage. Or, if you're using like an architectural, like you want to have like some kind of texture in your building. I believe it comes in tan, and you could maybe use that for like sculpting like a landscape, if you have like some tan rocks or something.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of potential.
I've seen that used as snow hanging off the end of an awning too, or at the end of a
Exactly.
roof. Yeah.
That's what they do a lot with like the Yule Ball set. It's like the icicles kind of hanging down.
Yep.
So yeah, it's not just teeth. It has some real bite to it.
Oh man. Yeah. I dig it. It's good. It's good.
Yeah. So that kind of, do you have any other thoughts on this element? Does that kind of
I mean, just the fact that it's only been around since 2004. Okay, I get that like some of our viewers are not even born yet, probably at 2004. But I mean, like in the grand scheme of things, that's a very short window of time for an element to have been around, and it's been in 600 sets. Like it quickly went from not a piece to like prolific.
The
That
piece,
says
yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I can see how versatile that type of piece is too, outside of just being a
Mm.
a tooth for a large scale thing. I mean, there's just so many different applications, so it's pretty cool.
Well, I can actually show you one of my early nice part usages of this piece.
Oh yeah, let's
Which,
see it.
if I were to do this today, I have a different method, which with a different element, maybe another future element of the week. But SpongeBob with his little his Krusty Krab hat,
Oh yeah,
and because they didn't make a Krusty Krab hat for him, so I had like the bill of his hat because he has a stud on top of his square bob body, and
Square
we
Bob
made the
Buddy.
rounded. Yeah, so now he's working at the Krusty Krab, and he's got his little uniform.
Yeah, I dig it.
Yeah, right. It works. It works.
Yeah, yeah, I love it.
So there's that. Yeah, that'll do it for another element of the week.
Ah, yes. Well, that's pretty cool stuff, though. Well, I
Mhm.
think with that, that brings us into our main segment, which today we're very excited to. Oh, yes, other favorite uses. Today we're very excited to announce that we're giving our top 10 Lego sets,
That's
like
right.
our freeze frames there from various videos in the past, looking very serious.
I see my Rancor is making a little cameo.
Yeah, exactly.
he's
Yeah.
he's over. He's currently eating good fortuna, so he's a little occupied.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Well,
It's a meal,
what are
a
you
meal
gonna
and a
do?
half. Yep.
Well, I will preface this by saying that these are just our, the obviously are just our opinions, but these
Yes.
are based off of really a wide range of time, and so it's really hard to narrow things down to what your top, of all time kinds of sets are.
It
But
really is.
yeah, I mean, and there's so many that I left off thinking like, oh, that must have been in my
Mhm.
top 10, but it wasn't. And I tried to go off of a lot of sets that had, specific meaning to me personally, but not, I mean, probably most of these I haven't ever owned. They're just, I think that they are the best, whether I've had a personal experience of owning it or whether I've known somebody who did, or I just really want it.
Wow. All right. So this actually makes we're gonna have very different lists because what I did was I tried to pick my top 10 favorite sets and I own all of them. I currently own all of them. If they're not currently built, they could be built like right now and right here.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
was
that's
just
because you're amazing. That's all.
it's just because I am OCD and I like couldn't stand to pick something I don't have. Um, but
Well, let's go ahead and get into it then,
right.
because I've got
So oh, I'm sorry.
no, I was gonna say
Right.
I've got your number 10
My
right
number
here.
10. So a little bit about the way we're going to do this is, this is blind. Thomas and I do not know each other's top 10s. So we're just going to go through our list from 10 to 1. Now, in the event that we have chosen the same set, I don't necessarily think that that's going to happen with there being so many sets out there and us having our own unique tastes. But if, say, now my number 10 is the Creator Bookshop. If Thomas's number 2 was the Creator Bookshop, he could just say, listen, Matt, I have this higher on my list, and I'll say, okay. And then when we get to that on his slot, that's when we'll discuss the Creator Bookshop. Make
Yep.
sense?
Yep.
All right.
Fair enough.
So my number 10 is the Creator Bookshop. This is, spoiler alert, the only modular building on my playlist. Here I am already over talking my playlist, listening to Lego sets in the car. No, this is the only modular because I knew I had to get a modular on this list. I really owe it to the modular building series for getting me back into Lego like big time.
Yeah.
Because look, they're very adult oriented Lego sets, like you could play with them and
Right.
everything, but I feel like the modulars, for a long time, the modulars was like the thing that Lego had for adults. Would you agree?
Oh yeah. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot else in that like expert level. So the modulars really set that stage for it, and
Hmm.
the detail that they put into there. Now, the first ones that they put out didn't have really a full interior, but
No.
in recent years, I mean, they've really made these something spectacular.
Down to the last detail, like
Yeah.
they're cram packed and they're worth every penny, honestly. I feel like I learn 15 new building techniques every time I build a new modular.
Oh
Um,
man, yeah, they
this
really challenge you
one's
and
no
push
exception.
you.
They do. They take time. It's never like a one sitting build.
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah, and I love that about it.
mhm. What I love about this one is that it's actually the second modular, which is not like one complete building. It's actually two separate smaller buildings that you can disattach and, move around your city layouts. Currently, I don't have them next to each other just because there's no place where they can fit together in my lineup.
No, that makes
Uh,
sense.
yeah, but I like the way that they contrast from each other. So you have the bookshop, which is in that lovely medium nougat color,
Mhm.
one of my favorite Lego colors, if not my favorite. Right next to this dark turquoise, which is a revived color. I think this is one of your favorites too,
It
Thomas.
is. It's my favorite color
Isn't
ever.
that funny that like our like favorite colors are like in one like it's like
Yes.
friendship
Yes.
was meant to be. Um, Yeah, so many great building techniques throughout this. I love the way they get all of the angles and the like I don't even know what you call it, like the siding all around the windows. Um, the
Yes.
the fall leaves in front of the bookshop is just nice and cozy and gives you that warm fuzzy feeling. Um,
Well,
a
when did
lot of
this one
really
come out?
what I believe this was 2020,
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So
right?
so pretty
Because
recent. Yeah.
this year was the boutique hotel.
Mhm.
I really like that one. I just haven't gotten it yet. Um, Before that was the police station. I still don't have that one. And then this one came out in 2020. Fun fact: this was actually one of my like COVID times lockdown builds where I had nothing
Oh,
else to
yeah.
do. Yep. I remember distinctly watching copious amounts of Adventure Time and building this set.
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
fantastic. Good use of
s-
time.
Excellent. I can't think of anything better. But yeah, so many nice printed elements. There's the little Moby Brick book, where
Yes.
there's like the Lego brick jumping out of the water, like Moby Dick.
Mhm.
You know, it's just it's a really nice set, and I love it. It looks great in my city. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, you have any thoughts on this set?
No, I think that's fantastic. It's a very pleasing set to look at, and I like the fact that you have the two separate houses based or buildings that are butted up against each other. It just gives you a lot of room for versatility and customization. As the way that you want it to fit in your city layout. I
Yeah.
really enjoy the architectural details, the slopes that they have there. The
Mhm.
curvature at the top of that nougat building there.
Oh, is that
Um,
gorgeous?
yeah, it's really evocative of that, like, old town square type of building, that you
Mhm.
see in old traditional, downtowns that, in a lot of places are just non-existent anymore
I
nowadays.
know. I just want to
So
walk in there and buy a book
I know, yeah, I
or
wonder I bet they
10.
have got some good stuff.
I
Yeah.
love books. Yeah, rare first editions and old
Ah, yes,
copies. They probably smell
exactly.
so good. Oh, I love reading.
Me too, me too. It's a good pastime.
It is. So let's move on to your number 10.
All right, my number 10 is the Titanic. And
Ah,
I know I went a completely different
go
direction.
big or go home.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So I mean, it's not among my favorite themes necessarily in terms of it's a historical ship, but what really strikes me with this is the attention to detail, not just the scale. The scale is massively impressive, but the attention to detail is what really gets me. The fact that you can separate the ship into multiple pieces and view a cross section, see all the floors in there, see the inner workings of like the boiler room, and how when you move it, the engines actually link into the technic linkage to turn the props at the end of the ship. That would normally have propelled it. It's just mind-boggling how much attention they put into this set. The rigging that goes across the top there, the lifeboats, woefully insufficient, of course, for what happened in real life.
Jeez,
um,
this got
yeah,
dark.
I know. Yeah, too soon, right?
Yeah. A-
um,
Am I
it's
seeing that this includes 3 brick separators?
it looks like it to me.
Why?
Yeah, because they know you're going to make a mistake along the way, or a
Oh,
few.
three at a time.
Yeah, yeah.
Say I
It's
could say you're gonna make 3 Titanic mistakes.
Oh gosh, yeah. I don't know if I can handle that.
I'll see myself
Yeah.
out.
But I mean, it's on 6 supports because it's such a massive thing. I mean, you see all those
Wild.
little supports that they have underneath of there. I wish I had some other pictures of like the details on there, but yeah, I mean, it's just an incredibly well done set for what it is, and
It's a
it's like 53 inches long or something like that. It's insane. So what thoughts do you have on that?
um it's the most impressive, coolest set that I really have no desire to own. Look,
Yeah,
I'm just being like, to me,
yeah.
when I see it, I'm just like, there's definitely somebody who this is for, and
Oh
I am
yeah,
the
yeah.
furthest thing from that person. Um, I never understood the hype behind the Titanic. It's a fascinating, I guess, thing for some people, and tragedy, historic tragedy. But it's just like, yeah, it's you built the Titanic out of Lego. It's cool. I don't
Hmm,
know.
hmm.
Maybe I'm too
No, I
cynical about it, but
not at all. No, that's I mean that's why it's my number 10 because for me it's like I'm not going to own that set. It's not
right.
on my list to buy, but from a standpoint of being able to look at it and appreciate what went into it, um I can't not mention it because
Oh,
it's such a phenomenal
it really is.
level of detail. It kinda makes me think of, like, those old, plastic model ships that you would build
Mhm.
and use the little, model glue and stuff, just with all
Right.
that rigging and all that on there. It's I don't know, it's something unique, definitely.
You're talking about, like, the gift you would get from your grandparents, and then you would
Yeah.
put it in the corner and then go build a Lego set
Yes.
instead.
Yes, exactly. Oh, man. Yep.
You'd find it, like, a year later and be like, "Oh, maybe I'll do this one day," and then, you go build another Lego set.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's like the
Um,
opposite kind of detail that I like actually putting together.
yeah,
So
yeah, it's not my kind of assembly. I like little plastic bricks that connect and click and,
yes,
make me feel
yes.
good inside.
There's no
Um,
room for guesswork in that either.
no.
It's like it is right or it is not right.
I will agree with you. It is a very impressive feat, and the fact that this even exists is amazing. Like, remind me, what is the price tag on this? Is it 800?
It is
900?
$679.
That's all?
Yeah, but it is 9,000 pieces. So I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because like I guess you have the Star Wars upcharge, but I would have thought this would be like at least in the 700 to 800 range based on how it
Yeah.
compares to Millennium Falcon.
Yeah,
Um,
I know.
it's almost a bargain at that price. Wow, look at that.
I know, right? Well, especially with all that dark red in there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean,
Oh,
what are we
they're
doing?
gonna. Yeah, for real. I don't
Yeah.
know. But I feel like as a kid I would have only dreamed that sets like this existed. The
Well,
biggest set
that's exactly
yeah,
right.
the biggest set I'd ever seen was the Imperial Star Destroyer, which what do you think that cost at the time? 200, 300? I think it was 300.
Yeah. The original one that was not UCS?
Yeah. Oh, it was
Yeah.
was I think it was UCS.
Was it?
We should know this. We did this episode.
I know it, yeah. Well, I
It
know
all
they did
goes
several they've done play scale and they've done
big. Oh,
UCS
not
on
the
the
play
Star
scale, the big
Destroyers,
one.
but yeah, the okay, the bit yeah. Yeah, that was, it was, like, less than 500,
Yeah.
definitely.
I never imagined there'd be a set that big, so this is just, like,
I yeah, yeah.
historic.
It's definitely and that's to my point there also. I mean, this set came out only in 2021. It hasn't
Right.
been that long, and I mean, I never would have imagined that Lego could do stuff like this.
Yeah.
Just to be honest, I mean, because I only just got back in the hobby, not too long before this set came out. Um, I remember it coming out at that point and just being like, "This is a thing."
Yeah. I remember being like, "Who's buying this?"
Yeah, yeah, and
Uh,
a lot of people.
amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. Well,
Let's move on to number 9.
sure. So my number
Ooh,
9 is a
yeah.
set that I had the massive pleasure of building earlier this year. This is it's not called the DeLorean for whatever reason. It's called the Back to the Future Time Machine. Yeah, which they're not wrong. It's a time machine.
It
This
is, yeah.
oh yeah, I almost should have grabbed it off the shelf for this one, but I loved it. I can't like when I saw it, I was like, yeah, this is cool. Like I want it. And it's a little out of my wheelhouse because I'm more into like the minifigure scale things, but the way that
Yeah.
it blows the original one way out of the water in terms of the detail, the way it really replicates the shape of the DeLorean. I love all things 80s. I love pop culture. I love these movies. And this is just like, I've always wanted to have a DeLorean, preferably one
Yes,
that I
yeah.
can drive, but this is the next best thing, I would say. Um, I really like it.
I love their use of that color. That what is that color called?
Which one?
The matte silver that they have all over it.
Oh yeah, so the majority of the car is in light bluish gray, but they have that like flat silver color to
Yeah,
add like the detailing, and that really like it makes it pop. It really really nice.
it really
Um,
does. It gives that authenticity feel for
mhm.
sure.
I especially like the way that they pack so many details into it from the movies. Like, we
Oh man, I
have
know.
the hoverboard. You have the like the I don't even know what you call it, but the like the dashboard that has like all of the times, like the different dates that Marty goes and
Yes,
visits,
yeah.
and then of course the flux capacitor. It's great, and then the minifigures are also really nice. A big upgrade from the ones we got before. They're super
Oh
detailed.
man, yeah.
They're based off of Marty and Doc Brown as they appear in Back to the Future Part 2. It's a really fun movie, also. And you could build the car based on how it looks in each of the three movies.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. It really gives you
Mhm.
that ability to again tailor it the way that you
Oh,
want to
yeah.
do it. How cool is that? You can
It's
do it
amazing.
with the hovering version with the Mr. Fusion on the top of it.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
Really.
cool.
I love a set like this because you can really get lost in the build. It takes time for sure.
Mhm.
It's not going to take you years and years to build it, but um, the techniques are just out of this world. Like so much above. Like it's really why they have the 18 plus line because it's just the techniques are just a cut above what you would get at like the play scale.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. And I can
Yeah.
see that with the angles in the back corners of the car, all kinds of stuff on there. I'm sure.
It really makes me just feel like I'm, building an interactive art piece.
Oh yeah, it is really something else. That's
Hmm.
spectacular.
Yeah. So if you have no more to say, let's move on to number 8.
All right. Well, my number 9,
Oh,
in
well,
fact,
I
is
can't.
gonna be
Yeah, here I am
I
counting.
know. It's
I'm not
10,
skipping.
10, 9, 9, 8, 8.
I'm just trying to skip your sets because I want to talk about
Oh
mine.
man. No, yours are great. I honestly,
Yeah.
I know I'm thinking on mine. I'm like, these gonna raise eyebrows probably, but so
No, I
I'm
can't.
all over the board.
I'm here for that. That sounds awesome. Let's discuss it.
Well, let's see. We've got from all the way back in 1992, Black Knight's
Oh my
Castle.
god. Yes.
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 Yes. This was my
Oh, dude.
favorite castle growing up.
Did
And
you own it?
I had a friend who owned it, and so we definitely rebuilt it in all kinds of different ways and combined it with my castle. And so, then we would mix all the pieces and lose them. But yeah, I mean, it was phenomenal. And it had that portcullis and the
Yeah.
drawbridge, and this whole like gatehouse. And I loved the red roofs on there, the big flag pieces that are really hard to find now in one piece because the little clip always breaks off of it.
Yeah.
Um, and this thing had 12 minifigs, which is like mind blowing for a play set nowadays. You really don't get that kind of thing. I mean, they had the big raised base plate,
Yeah.
which, a lot of people
It's
didn't like that kind of thing, but I loved it as a kid. It gave you a place to
Oh,
build your stuff,
they're so cool.
I
I felt
know.
so sad when the raised base plates went away.
I know. Yeah. I
Hmm.
like my last two, I think they stopped those around like 2004, maybe.
I think so. I
Four
remember
maybe.
like Knights Kingdom 2 had a base plate, and
Mhm.
then there were some city sets that had some base plates.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Knights Kingdom 2 had a couple of sets with raised base plates. They had like the bad guys fortress and then the good guys fortress. But
Yeah. Knights Kingdom
yeah,
2,
it was kind
Uh,
of a stinker, honestly.
oh,
I
so
don't
bad.
know.
Actually, the set that you showed before from Knights Kingdom 2, the boat,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think that
yeah.
that line, like that era was the best. Like the final when Knights
Yeah.
Kingdom 2 drew its final breath, like that's when it actually made
Yes.
decent castle sets.
It did, yeah, and this
Yeah.
almost looks a lot it reminds me a lot of the fantasy,
Yeah.
castle sets. It's a lot
It
of the
was a nice
same type
segue.
of feel with the black and the brown and, more like we're not doing weird out there colors like purple armor and stuff. That was interesting choices there.
Had an
Yeah.
unexpectedly useful application there with that purple armor.
I know. So
Yeah.
glad for that for my little spaceman, but,
Not to go too off topic though.
yeah, no, it's all good. But yeah, I mean,
um,
this is iconic castle design to me, and I just have such fond memories of sets like this.
Steering us back to this castle, yeah. I'm actually parting the set together. I got, some vintage lots that I've been restoring for a while, and
Oh,
um,
nice.
I have most of the pieces to this castle, because
That's awesome.
it's one of my dream Holy Grail sets. Unfortunately, I'm pretty much missing all of the super rare expensive stuff, including the base plate.
Yeah,
So
that's the
it's
hard
gonna
stuff.
Yeah, I have a lot of the minifigs, but it's gonna be one of those like, oh, if I find a deal on like this one wall panel, I'll snatch it and
Yes.
maybe I'll build this before I'm 80. Um,
Yeah, I'm looking at some of those printed wall and corner pieces right over on the other side of my table over here. I have
mm.
a handful of those actually that came from. It might have been from my friend's set. I don't know.
You stole it?
Shh.
Never know. Are
Stuff
they
got
listening?
intermixed. Yeah.
So I have to ask, which
Yeah.
castle did you have that you mixed with this one?
It was the Dragon Master one. I can't remember what the name of that was now that I
Fire
think
Breathing
about it.
Fortress?
Yes, yeah, with
Yeah.
the big gate
The
on it
big
and everything. Yeah.
dragon
Mhm.
head? The
Yeah.
movable dragon? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have all those Dragon Master sets, so
I love those.
I
Yeah.
love that. Such a
Yeah,
great theme.
good
It's
stuff.
one of my
Yeah.
favorite themes by far.
Yeah, that was my
Um,
big one, and then I got,
I loved
like,
it.
the Knights Kingdom 1 and,
Mhm.
King Leo's castle, kind of a fond place in my heart there too. But
I
yeah, I
love
mean,
that set.
this thing had 588 pieces, 12 minifigs, and originally cost $85, which I mean that's kind of the high end for early '90s Lego.
The
But
1990, that was a mammoth
yeah,
for its time.
yeah, 92 on this one. But yeah,
Oh, 92.
new in box now, this thing will run you $430.
I have that laying around.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'd love to buy
Go
I mean,
get
if
you
you
one.
look, if you think about it, you could either spend that money on, the new Lion Knights castle, or you could get this one,
Yeah. Yep.
and, I mean, I think that they're, like that's, like, a comparable, what's up, Zisu? Um,
Nice castle set, he said.
yeah, I that is a comparable purchase, I would say, if you're a
I
real
mean,
big
really,
castle
yeah.
fan. If you're willing to drop 400 on the new one, like, you could get a classic. Really
I know.
sealed
Yeah.
for 400? I think that might
I
not
mean, 430 average.
sealed
I mean,
or
yeah. I
complete in
mean,
box? I think this is worth
the
about 1,200 sealed.
is it sealed? Yeah. Well, then we probably won't be able to get sealed then.
I don't know. I don't know. We have to look into that, but still, if you
Yeah.
find it for 400 sealed, send it my way. That's an instant purchase.
Yeah, in my Treebeard hasty put together of this
Weird history,
slideshow,
young
I
hobbits.
yeah, I definitely only consulted Brickset for the pricing on some of these. So, 90th anniversary castle, such a
It's
great
such a
build
good build experience.
experience,
It
he
looks
said.
lovely.
Yeah, yeah. That is yeah, the phenomenal details on that too, honestly. Yeah, thanks for that
Mhm.
call out. All right, let's move on to
Yes.
Matticus's number
I don't even
8.
remember what this one is. Oh, it's the Stranger Things
Ooh,
upside down.
the upside down.
All right.
Mm,
Other than the Demogorgon and 11 brickhead set, this is the only Stranger Things set that we've gotten, and it's a nice big collectible $200 upside down set. I think it is so cool that you have both versions of the house just kind of flip-flopped
right.
on each other.
Yeah, that's
It's
ingenious.
ingenious, and it's held together by this piece that I really haven't seen used much since then, but it has like the two like the toe ball pieces that they connect into the um you know
Oh, yeah, yeah.
the ball and like the socket
Mhm.
pieces to connect
Yeah,
them.
that's smart.
This set, I mean, I'm a huge Stranger Things fan. Like I said, I love all things 80s and 80s reminiscent
Oh, yeah.
and the nostalgia, the pop culture. The box design is gorgeous. That's why I
I was
picked
just
this
gonna call that
particular
out,
color.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the contrast, the color on that too, the red on the top and the
Yep.
blue on the bottom. Ah,
And they designed this so you can actually like completely flip it over and display it either way, right side up or upside down. I mean, I can't name another set that is displayable in that way.
no, I mean,
No,
not fully built. There
no,
are a lot
that
of sets that provide the option of building it one way or another, but,
exactly.
I mean, this is built both ways at once, which is
I
really
know.
cool.
It's fully I just think it's a really impressive, beautiful set. The minifigure selection is great. It has some light up features with a light brick.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Even Hopper's van or his truck is really nicely designed.
Yep, yep. Well, I think one of my favorite parts about this set is the fact that they were able to create these trees
Mm,
that looked realistic both upside down and downside up. You know,
hmm.
where I mean, they had to make it so that it was flat on the bottom, which
Yeah,
becomes the top, but still looks like a normal tree when
right.
it's the other way around. I mean, that's really impressive building there.
It is. It
Yeah, I
really
love it.
is. They cram a lot of nice details in from the show, which is also really cool. Um,
Hmm.
my favorite printed element. Oh, I should have gotten a picture of it, but I'm sorry, it's actually stickered, but it's a little like Will Byers missing like a poster, and it has his picture, and it says like, "Have you seen Will Byers?" And
Oh
it says
yeah.
height half an inch tall, or like however tall his minifigure is. And I just remember like laughing so hard when I saw that because I was like, yeah, like it's not like the real person, but zero chance that Lego will do a Vecna house set. I have, I don't know. It's possible. I would really like to see it, but we'll have to see what else they have in store. They still have the IP for Stranger Things, so maybe something else could be
Right.
coming in down the pipeline.
I think the thing with the way that they do sets of this nature is that because they are a company that tries to be conscious of kid friendliness, they
Hmm.
have to tread carefully on a lot of this stuff, and a lot of I think what we get into in Stranger Things borders on too scary for children.
Yeah.
So that's probably a consideration for them. So I'm not sure, what goes into that though. Otherwise,
And it kind of makes me wonder if like this set came out before season 4, so
yeah.
what I it probably was even done before season 3 came out, and season 3 had some pretty heavy scary stuff.
Hmm.
So maybe I'm really surprised that this set happened anyway, but I'm not surprised that it is an 18 plus set,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah.
that it's the only one. There's not a whole line of like sets that kids have access to. So
Yeah, I mean, it
but
would
it's
be
great.
cool, but yeah, I
Oh,
love
I'd
it for
be
what it
so
is.
buy them all, but yeah, that's my number 8.
Awesome. Well, I'm continuing on number 8 for mine. Still on the trend of course, utilizing the whole big range of Lego throughout the years. And this is another great throwback. It's not quite as far of a throw as the previous one, but here we're going to look at the Tower of Orthanc. This is
Well,
such a amazing set. Go ahead.
it
Sorry.
sure is, and I have it higher on my list.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Awesome. See, I knew we'd line up on something there.
All right. So we will discuss
Yeah.
this one a little bit later, but it's a really cool set.
Yes. Yeah. Well, let's look at that when we get to
Hmm.
your step on the road there. But I will say, yeah, I love everything about it, including the int.
Oh, yeah, he's incredible.
Yes. All right. Number 7.
Number
Oh, that's a
7.
monorail.
This is my first throwback. I often
Yeah.
cite this as one of my favorite sets in my collection. It is the Unitron monorail transport base, which I own complete in box. I just love the monorail sets. It's kind of like, I don't know, anybody who spent 2 minutes with me talking about Lego knows I love monorails. But the way that, it's just this like really creative motorized system for, you have this little thing going around. I would have loved this as a kid. I would have thought it was so cool.
Yeah.
It's got that classic space feel. The box art is absolutely gorgeous. Like, I,
Yes.
take out the logos, and I want that framed like on my wall
Yeah.
because it's like resembles that like retro sci-fi art. The color scheme is great. Uh, the way that they design it so that it actually makes things move like as it passes through the little base, the radar dish spins.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's nostalgia at its finest. I love this set.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Mhm.
What a great pick on that. I always thought they should have done more
Yeah.
monorail sets, honestly, and used those parts more. Yeah.
Is my understanding, and I have nothing to cite this for other than just like spending time on Lego internet forums and stuff. My understanding is that they didn't sell well. That at the time they were
Yeah.
that um like a monorail set would have been like the UCS Death Star today, I think, if you adjust for inflation, maybe,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Roughly.
Yeah.
So that was a luxury item, you know. Not too many
Definitely.
kids, I would imagine, would have been able to get these sets. That's why they only did 3 monorails. It's
Well,
one of the
honestly, even the train sets were pretty
yeah.
expensive. Like the motorized trains were really expensive then
Mhm.
too, and just because they included those electronic components, really elevated the price quite a bit on most of those. And with the monorail, you've got very large single pieces that are molded. It's costly.
It is. And, you know, they kind of became like a cult classic in a way that,
Yeah.
you know, if you're in the Lego community, like people who like are into monorails and they have like, you know,
Yeah.
every convention you go to has a big monorail display somewhere.
I
I
know.
saw so many
Big
monorail
monorail
sets.
city going through it. Yeah.
I like drooled all over Brickfair, Virginia, like because there were monorails everywhere.
Oh, I love it. That's a good pick. That's a good
Yes.
pick.
Thank you.
All right. Well, my number 7 is going to be from that same era, actually, kicking it
Ooh,
back
all
to
right.
1993 with our good friend Ice Planet 2002,
Oh my God,
the
yes.
Deep Freeze Defender.
What a great pick.
Yes, also a set that I didn't own but had a friend who owned, and I lived vicariously through my friends whose parents were able to shower them with a much more Lego gift than probably what they
Oh,
needed. I
oh,
mean,
geez.
really slim minifig selection on this set. It only came with like 3 minifigs,
And that's the
but
entire lineup of Ice
it's
Planet.
I know, yeah, but really, really neat design, and I just always loved the colors in Ice Planet. I only had some of the smaller ones, but yeah, I mean, pretty cool stuff. I mean, the prices that I looked up on this one, 45 new originally, and like 950 new now.
It's insane. Like I'm
Yeah, for
lucky. I
400 pieces.
I have mine built over my, you know, don't have the box. This I think I have the instructions, but
Mhm.
oh, it's such a cool set. If you ever have the chance to like
Yeah.
get one and build it and play with it, it's as cool as it looks.
It is so cool. The trans neon
Yeah.
orange is one of my favorite colors in the old school
Oh,
lines
I know.
too. It's just so like space, you know?
Hmm. Ice Planet had such a striking color scheme.
They did, yeah. There's nothing like that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got on. I mean,
Oh,
it was kind of like a ship that I really
well,
liked, and I mean, honestly, there wasn't a whole lot to that theme, really.
there
It's
really
just
wasn't.
how many
I
sets
love
were there?
that.
Like 5?
5 or 6. I mean, there's a couple poly bags. I think I have
Yeah.
all of them except for one of the poly bags. Do you know what? Hold your thought. I'm gonna go grab mine because it has some features I'd like to share.
Oh
I
yeah,
have to
please
show
do.
this.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thankfully Matt has a ton of these classic sets. Oh man, take a look at that.
So, all right. So this is the deep freeze defender for anybody watching at home. And these like cockpits are actually like modules that you can
Yes,
take off.
I love
And
that.
I think there's even a spot that you can load these in their like base, the Ice Station
Oh yeah,
Odyssey.
yeah.
So then there are these little arrows here. You flip these up, and then like this can be detached. You know, this detaches there. I'm not going to detach it. Over here, it stores a missile, or you know, because they were
Oh yeah,
research.
yeah.
They
Hmm.
had to go to this ice planet to research missile technology. I don't know what that was all about. Um, that's the entire plot of Ice Planet. And then you see this like these like the garage like type
Hmm.
things here. So you lift these up, and then this goes back like that. And then I don't know if you could see that, but it
Oh yep.
raises and lowers this guy. So that this is like a little like a buggy that can, you know, zoom off of it or whatever.
Oh man, that's so cool.
I love these
That
pieces.
is
Like
really
it has
neat.
a space yet. We have not covered Spyrius yet, Mikey, but
No,
I have
no.
a feeling that we are going to cover Spyrius before the end of the night.
You
Just a
know,
hunch.
I am gonna just I have to unfortunately say I didn't put a Spyria set on my top 10.
Well,
I may have wanted to put Robo Guardian, and it may
I
have been
thought
edged out by something
for
else.
sure you would. Well, then I guess we're not talking about Spyrius
Yeah.
tonight. I don't have any Spyrius
Yeah.
either. Oh yeah,
But I mean, it was like a really, really close second on that, and I almost put it in this same slot. But the just something about the deep freeze defender really stood out to me. Yeah, I see that, Mikey.
All right, Mikey, I see how it is.
Yeah. Oh man.
But anyway,
All right. Well, let's look at Matticus's number 6.
I have the
Oh,
Galaxy
yes.
Explorer from this year. I,
Yeah,
I just love the set. It's such a cool set.
it
it
really is.
it's a faithful recreation of the original Galaxy Explorer. It has 3 astronauts, I believe, 3, 4, 3. And their little robot buddy who has coffee cups, because you got to have
Yeah.
coffee to, go on your space adventures. Oh, there's four astronauts. It has such a nice detailed interior. There are little beds so that they can have a little space slumber party. There's room to fit so many minifigures in the cockpit. It's a really solid build. It doesn't look like it will be. And then that you spend so much time just making the internal structure of like that flat
Right.
part. It's dreams. Like I want to hop into that thing and fly away. Like it is really freaking cool.
Well, what a great job they did creating that same feel and the same look and the same
Yeah.
profile, but like instead of like the original set is a single plate thick for
Yeah.
that entire bottom part, and then here you have an entire structure for it to create that
It's
stability.
thick as a brick.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a whole brick thick.
really great homage to the original set.
Especially that box art, like it really, you feel like you're getting something like,
I
that
know.
piece of Lego history.
Yes, yeah, that's a beautiful thing. That's on my list for Christmas for sure.
I hope
Yeah.
that Santa Claus is listening.
Yeah, I hope Santa Claus goes to Walmart to get that $75 deal.
I've considered buying another one just for pieces. Like they're so cool.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I'm not as much of a classic space builder as Fazoom.
Oh man, yeah, his work is incredible too. His
I know.
custom pieces that are based off of classic space
So
and
good.
such a reasonable retail price too. Yeah, as this
Really
student
is.
commented. Yes, very much so. Yeah, I can
Oh,
appreciate
yeah.
that.
That's my number 6. That's all I got to say.
Awesome.
Go buy the
Yeah,
spaceship.
love it.
What do you have at number 6?
My number 6 jumped back up to the year 2021 with the Daily Bugle.
Well, spoiler alert, I have this higher on my list.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, we will share our commentary until we get to that portion of our
Yes.
show. So I will just first off say that I love the way that it can be done in 2 ways, but I'm going to hold all the rest of my commentary until we
It's
get to
great.
that point. So moving on to the Matticus number 5.
I
Ooh,
have
yeah.
the
Yeah.
UCS Slave 1,
Mm.
which to me is just not only a great Star Wars set, it's the best Star Wars set in my opinion. It's actually the only Star Wars set that made it onto my list, and it is just like that is if I could just grab like one Star Wars set out of my collection to keep, it's this one. It faithfully recreates a really iconic Star Wars ship. I love that it comes with a stand built in, so you can
That
really
was necessary.
yeah, you can see it in all its glory. It has a really nice interior where you can, fit Boba Fett inside, had his controls. It has all the little like guns and stuff that fire off. It's like amazingly smooshable, like as delicate as it is. Like you can hold it with both hands, and you've seen me in my videos. I'm always playing with it because I love it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's just one of those sets that really gets it.
Yeah.
It's a home run.
It is absolutely, and their absolute most faithful recreation of this ship ever. Just the level of detail again, it's top tier for sure.
It really is.
Beautiful.
And even
We'll be back.
not a lot of minifigures, but what's included is pretty great. I think it's the best version of Boba Fett that we've ever gotten. The most detail. It's got a really nice
Yeah.
face print. Well, unless you want to say Cloud City Boba Fett, but
Yeah, but I mean, then you're going into like, do you prefer something
hype,
that is, nostalgic versus,
hype.
you know,
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Uh,
I like
question on
Susu's
the list
comment.
was, yeah, the
Yeah.
Creator 3-in-1 sets on the list thus far.
They came very close.
Yeah. Yeah, I almost put the medieval castle on there because I thought that was a
Did you
really
really?
yeah. I said almost, yeah.
Mm.
But you know,
All right.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Creative 3-in-1. I have to say, none of those crossed my mind. But
Yeah, there's too many sets to choose from. I mean, you know
yeah.
what? When I make a top 10 tomorrow, it'll be completely different. I can't.
Well, that's the thing. It's like this is very different. So I made a top 10 video like last year, and it's
Yeah,
similar, but I had to look back at it, and I know that
yeah,
things have moved around and changed because some of the sets in my top 10 weren't out when I made that list. So
yeah. Honestly, I I I I personally, for me, like, I almost would have to narrow it to one specific theme to
mhm,
really do a good job of
I
giving a top
agree.
10, or even to narrow it down to a certain year range. Like, it has to be
Right.
between, 2010 and 2015 or whatever. I could do that. This, it's gonna be a crapshoot. I'm sorry.
I know. So welcome to building a podcast where we're giving you our top 10, but it's all nonsense. Are,
Yeah.
these are our top 10 Lego sets right now.
I mean, spoiler, I like everything, so, I mean,
That's
I'm not gonna apologize for that.
as do I, and that's expensive.
It
You
is. It's
know,
expensive liking everything.
liking Star Wars alone is expensive. Like liking everything else and Star Wars is like, oh God, good luck.
I know, like, second mortgage expensive, jeez.
My God, yeah. You give any advice for that?
Yeah.
Like,
Nope, don't get addicted to
don't
Lego.
don't do it.
Like that commercial, like, "This
Just
is your brain on drugs,"
this is
"This is your brain on Lego."
just say no.
Whoops.
Your kids get to a certain age and you have to have a conversation with them like, son, it's time
Yeah.
we had a talk. One of these days, a nice employee in a yellow apron is going to offer you some Lego. And I want you to look him in the eye and say, no.
Just say no. It's like the DARE program for Lego.
Can
Oh
you
man.
imagine?
I don't wanna. It's too yeah. But I mean, actually, the funny thing with that is, like, versus, high contrast to the "this is your brain on drugs" argument. Actually, building Lego is incredibly beneficial for your mental health.
Incredibly.
Just want to put that out there, guys, because yeah, building Lego is good for the brains.
You should build it every day.
I try to, yeah.
I would love to. Sometimes life gets in the way, unfortunately. But
It does, yeah.
yep.
If you just keep, like, a little pile of bricks at your desk, then you can at least have something to do.
Thanks. Nice advice. I might try that.
Yeah, I usually will bring something up to my desk just to interchange out every once in a while. I don't keep anything up there for too long because I do have windows in the office, and I don't like any sunlight getting on bricks if possible. But they're
Sunlight's
not in
the enemy of
direct.
Lego.
Yeah, they're not in direct sunlight. But right now, I have the 2004 Luke's Land Speeder that came in the original Cantina set upstairs, just chilling on the desk.
Very nice.
Yeah, you gotta have that.
Oh. What do
Well,
you have at number 5?
yeah, my number 5 is, see, I'm going kind of hopscotch back and forth here, but we're going to jump to my oldest set on the list. It won't get any older than this. And this is one that I had. I sadly cannot say that I have it now. And if I ever wanted to have it again, I'd have to shell out a tremendous chunk of change. But this is the one and only Black Seas Barracuda.
Oh,
This is a
geez.
prolific pirate set.
Did you
It's
play with the set with your pet dinosaur?
oh, shut up.
I had to get that in there.
Yeah. Older than grass, too. Yeah. Jeez. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this set came out in 1989, and I don't know how many years it stayed out, but
Not
um,
enough.
it was something else. This one even came with one of the brown monkeys, and I still have the monkey. He's over with the rest of my pirates. But I mean, look at those beautiful red and white striped sails, the cloth sails. You get like 5 of them in this. It's 909 pieces, 8 minifigures, and originally cost $110. So a pretty pricey set for 1989.
Mhm.
Today you're looking at like almost $3,000 new. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
They reissued this set, didn't they?
They
Lego Legends.
yeah. And then
I
of course they had the
I could have gotten it.
Pirates of Barracuda Bay too, which
Oh,
is
then
a
they
really
did the
good.
full-on remake,
Mhm.
which kind of
Yep. Yeah.
scratches at it. But yeah,
Yeah.
so this was available during both of our childhoods. You had it.
I
I
know. I
just
know.
didn't ask my parents for it. 'Cause,
Well, and I don't know what happened to mine. So I
Yeah.
think I
Well,
have one of those brown the ladder things that goes up
oh
there.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah. Like the
know,
rigging.
yeah, and then the really big pirate flag, the
Mm-hmm.
skull and crossbones. But that's oh, and I have the mast too. But
It's
yeah,
so cool.
it really is.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I think that this really was one of the huge, like probably one of the most important sets that Lego has ever made.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so iconic. It says
Mm-hmm.
Lego. I mean, like this feels like Lego. I don't know how else to put it, you know.
It is.
And the combination of the brown of the main part of the ship and then also adding in that yellow detail along the
Mm-hmm.
whole top part of it, it just really pops and it brings it out as
Yeah.
something that's not just, you know, the a wooden thing, you know. And then they
Mm-hmm.
have the extra boat that goes, you know, the rowboat that goes alongside of it, the whole like cabins quarters in there. It's just it
Mm-hmm.
was a mind blowing set at the time, and still
So
holds up
great.
today. It
It
really
does.
holds up today. Yeah.
I wish I had one. All I have is my Barracuda Bay, and I considered putting that on my list, but it
Ah,
was
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
edged out a little bit.
I
But
mean, that's a really really well
it's a
done
great
set
set.
too, and
It's so
does
much
a
fun.
great job with paying homage to this set too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
good deal. Yeah. All right, so
Good
on
choice.
to the number 4 then, right?
My number 4.
All right, breaking it down.
This
Ooh.
is yeah. So this is actually I believe this is the oldest set on my list. No, maybe this was 1995. So this is the was this 95 or 96? I'm actually second guessing right now. Um might have been 96. I think it's 96. But this is the Dark Forest Fortress, part of the Dark Forest line, which is kind of like the last iteration that Lego did of the Forestmen. And I think this set is so cool. I remember as a kid, I actually had a friend who had it because it was given to him by a family friend, someone who was
Oh
older
yeah.
than us. Yeah, so it was like a hand-me-down Lego. Um, and he got it and we built it and it was so cool and I wanted it, so I also made my dad go on eBay and buy it for me.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
so I was able to find a decent deal. um Actually, I think I was in like middle school at the time when I got this set, so it was a little like, oh, I'm gonna get this, but I'm not gonna like tell the
You're
kids at
not gonna tell
school.
people. Yeah.
No, but I
Oh
got it
man.
and I'm collecting a vintage Lego set. um but
I love it.
my favorite feature is that this like tree that is kind of built onto their little structure there, you can pull out this Technic pin and the tree collapses onto the little like
Oh
roadway and
yes,
it can
yes.
fall into the cart that's going by, the little Dragon Master's cart that they're attacking. Did you have this set? Are you looking for the instructions?
I'm looking for the Lego magazine when it came out, and I'm looking in
Mm,
1995,
I think it's
and
96 now that I
I
think of
think
it.
it is too, because I didn't
Um,
see anything in holiday 95 here. Yeah, I'm the ultimate nerd here, having all of my Lego Mania magazines from
I'm all
91
for it.
through like 2005 or something like that.
I
Yeah.
also really loved the sort of like jail in a tree motif. Like, you got to give
Yeah.
it to these guys. That tall tree was like, I mean, when I was a kid, like that was a tall Lego structure. Like, it was like, whoa.
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and it has this like little jail cell door with a skeleton inside. Like, the aesthetic of just like this, like kind of like slightly spooky dark forest. Although I always thought that these were the
Yes.
good guys. Like
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Robin
Because it's like
Hood,
Robin
Mary
Hood kind of
Jane.
thing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's exactly
Um,
right.
this is like the number one vintage set that I want to like do my own remake of, and it's just one of those projects I never have gotten
Oh,
around to.
yeah. Yeah.
But it's just, I think this set goes for 900 or more used.
I wouldn't
I
be
don't,
surprised.
not
Yeah.
even like in box.
Ah, man.
Like, there was someone selling it at Brick Fair, Virginia for like an absurd price, and I was just like, wow,
Wow.
like,
Oh,
yeah, I
man.
hope you get it because it's worth it. It really is. Well, I mean, it doesn't
Yeah.
take up that much space, but
True.
it's cool. It's really like, I think, peak Forest set. I think it's the best Forest Men related set that they have ever made. Um,
Yeah. Well, and I
even
remember Dark Forest more than I remember Forest Men because
mhm,
I don't really feel like that was much of a thing by the time that we were collecting. But
mhm.
you know, yeah,
This
it's pretty awesome.
this was one of those like tail end, like when I was getting into Lego and it was like Fright Nights was the stuff that I was,
Yeah.
first exposed to.
Hmm.
I would see the little booklets where it would, show you sets that were available. And I guess like they still showed the Royal Knights and the Dark Forest. And like,
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's that they weren't available anywhere yet still, or my parents just chose not to buy those for me. I don't know, but I used to like look at them long after those sets had retired, and
Yes,
I
yes.
had the little pamphlet. I was like, these Lego sets look so cool. Why can't I get them?
I know. Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, what
but
do we
this
got
was one
here?
of them.
Okay. I found Fire Breathing Fortress.
That's 1993. So
Yeah, so I'm looking at the wrong
yeah,
catalog there. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, they still had it on sale then. Totally off topic, but I got stuck in '96 here, and this is for Mikey if he's still looking. This there was a Lego Maniac segment where he had to build like crazy to stop the Spyrians. I don't know
Oh,
if
the
you can see
robot.
much of that there. Yeah, there's the Robo Guardian in kind of cartoon form there. Good
Mhm.
stuff. Yeah. It says, "Ouch, my arm." Yeah. Yeah, good
All
stuff.
right. What do you have
All
at number
right.
4?
My number 4 is also retro, but it's
Hmm.
came out in 2020 because
No,
it's the. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing here.
I was.
Okay, wrong thing. Well, now you have
That's an
like a guess on what
interesting
I'm
set
talking
for
about.
2020.
Yeah, shush. I had my notes in the wrong order apparently. I may have like made a flip flop at the last minute there, but this is the 2002 Republic gunship.
Mm.
It's a pretty classic Star Wars set now as far as classic goes. I mean, 2002 is pretty old for Lego Star Wars. Not anywhere near as detailed as the modern sets by comparison, but came with a lot of stuff that you don't see anymore. One of my favorite features was the fact that the front part of this ship actually opens up into a command center. You
Mhm.
can drop off a little cargo thing. I have it on my shelf behind me, and that's one of my favorites ever.
It's a
Came
really
with
cool set.
the blue super battle droids, which are
Mhm.
worth like $60 each now. I have
Insane.
3 of them. And Jedi Bob, which came only in that set.
He's my
His
favorite Jedi.
his
Like
official name is just Jedi Knight, actually.
Jedi Knight. Well, he's
But
Jedi Bob.
yeah,
Like,
so
only the
it's good.
elite know his name.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. And then you've got those first Phase 1 clone troopers. The
Mm.
original design of those helmets was an open helmet, and
Yeah.
then you had black underneath of it, so just like a black head. I actually kind of liked that design because it felt like it gave depth to their helmets. I didn't like it on the Phase 2; it doesn't look right, but the Phase 1 ones look good that way.
It looks
Honestly,
weird on Phase 2.
yeah, it looks weird indeed. Yeah.
Yeah.
The 2 back panels on that also open up, and yeah, I mean, and then they also on the box, which I can't get to right now, but it's also behind me. I loved on the back side of it that they had like 4 different versions of the ship that you could also build. Like you could even turn it like they don't give you the instructions for these obviously, but they showed like imagine what else you can build with this,
Yeah.
and one of them was like a transformer robot built out of this set. Like it's
I love
super
it.
cool.
So
It's so
creative and
like
weird.
yeah, like quirky, and like
Mhm.
Lego would never do that to a Star Wars set
Never.
now. So I miss that era, to be quite honest. Yeah. Zissou said, curious if we'll see any Johnny Thunder or Diagon
Well,
Alley. We'll see.
we'll see.
Yeah, I did love the Adventurers. Those were
Hey,
such an
adventurers were
awesome
awesome.
theme.
What's up, Evan? Lego creator has joined.
Oh yes, I see that. What do we got? What a lot of the '90s sets did. Yeah, exactly. I know, and I love that. It was just usually it said something like "Imagine what you can build," and
Mhm.
and something like that in that like classic goofy '90s font. Yeah, I still have the box over there. I just can't get to it right now. But yeah,
Yeah.
that was good stuff. Yeah, I always try to imagine how you would. They did the same thing on the Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter. They showed
Yes.
basically you could turn it into like a Tomcat type of like military fighter jet type of thing too.
Just for when Obi-Wan really needs to get down to business,
Yeah, that's
He needs
right.
to get the really high ground.
Yeah, we'll call him Maverick. Yeah, good stuff.
Yes.
All right, well, let's look at the Matticus number 3 pick.
I think you're kind of narrowing down my choices. So we
Oh
have.
man, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
This is where I put the Tower of Orthanc.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings is a really, important thing to me, and I just love that they even made this set. Well,
Yeah.
you had it higher, you had it on your list first. So why don't you share me with words? Why don't you share me with thoughts of yours, to you young Padawan?
Thoughts have I on this set? Sorry, we'll edit that one out later.
One does not simply walk. Wait, simply walk into Mordor. One does not.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. no, my gosh.
Uh,
Oh dear. Nope, I can't. Jeez.
all right.
Oh
Well,
man. All right, Boromir. Yodomir.
Godamir,
Woo.
what do you think
Okay,
about the Lego
so
set?
yeah. Okay. Well, can you just picture Saruman falling to his demise from the top of that thing? First off,
Yeah,
getting
not if
impaled
you're
on a
watching
little
the theatrical
Lego
version.
spike. Yeah, that's right.
Not in the theatrical release
It
of
was
this set.
quite gruesome. Also, I might note that was not in the book either. Let's just be clear.
No, no, the book was.
Yeah.
I had to do things a little bit differently, but
Yeah, and I appreciate that comment there. Also, the only appearance of an ent in Lego form, is that right? I don't think there was anything else with an ent, was there?
no, it's again one of those things I would like to build for
Alas,
myself, but
definitely you could do
you know,
some
yeah,
supplemental ents for that set easily because you kind of got a template to go off of.
yeah, some ent buddies.
Yep. Int
Yeah,
buddies, yeah. Well,
yeah,
I
little
like the
ent.
eagle. I love
Oh,
the
why
shape.
here? Yeah.
My favorite part probably is just the shape of the top of that tower.
Oh my God,
They
yes.
really nailed that perfectly, as well as the rows that make up that bottom part. They give it that
Hmm.
really impressive and ominous look. It's a lot of the same type of feel as like Darth Vader's castle more recently
Yes,
with that bottom
yes.
part there.
The
So
sculpting is great. Um,
yes,
like
Darth Vader's
if you
Tower of War think.
I would love to do some kind of combo mock of them. I don't even know how that would work.
Oh
But
yeah. Did you see
I
the
I
creators comment?
rewatched Two Towers recently. No butterflies, surprisingly. Yeah, like the little that would have been
Yeah, when
nice.
Gandalf was on the top there and
Hmm.
lets the butterfly go, and yeah, good times.
Yeah. Also, would have been a nice opportunity to include Merry and Pippin
Mm,
again, but
mhm.
I guess they just didn't want to do that. Um, Maybe even some more orcs. There's not a lot of minifigs, which is kind of surprising. They would
Mhm.
do a lot more minifigures if they made this set today,
I
probably.
feel like they definitely would. Yeah.
But anyway, I rewatched the Two Towers recently, and the sculpting is spot on. Like all of the spikes,
Yeah.
like they really down to the last detail got this.
Yes.
I even like how it has a full interior when we really don't even know what the full interior of the tower looks like, and
Right. Yeah. You only see like the lobby and the top. You know.
yeah, the lobby, and the room with the Palantir, where
Yeah.
he's doing
Yeah.
his like scheming with Wormtongue.
Yes.
But it's believable. There's the dungeons underneath, where you can
Hmm.
see like the shadows of like the wargs, like kind of like hanging out.
Yeah.
It's so cool. It's upstairs on my shelf, and I look at it literally every day. I look at this set. I love it.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
It is.
What an awesome set. And I'm so glad that it even happened,
Mm-hmm.
Like we didn't get a lot in the Lord of the Rings theme,
Not enough.
The only one I had was Gandalf appears. Yeah. So
No, that's like the
yeah.
lamest one.
I
Because you
know.
can make a part better than that yourself.
Oh yeah. But the fireworks. The
Oh, you're
fireworks.
right. You're right. Mhm.
Oh man.
But yeah,
Well,
great
ready to
sets.
move on to my number 3?
I would love to hear it.
All right. Well, I kind of gave an accidental foreshadowing on that. It is a retro set, but it came out in 2020. Yeah,
I love this
yeah,
one.
the Nintendo Entertainment
Yeah.
System. The fact that you can side scroll through this set, that's first off the most amazing part. Also, just a quick little pause and shout out to Epic Bricks, who was on our show last week.
Yes.
His recreation of levels 2 and 3 of Super Mario Brothers is just awesome. Like great ingenuity there, and really, really faithfully recreated the whole feel of both of those levels. So
Mhm.
go watch his videos on that if you haven't already, because wow, cool. But yeah, this set is just like my childhood in a box. I mean, it's the fact that you got the controller, it looks exactly like an NES controller. The fact that the cartridge actually goes inside and you got to push it down to make it go in. The little Easter egg on the inside when you're building it of the little Mario scene in there. The fact that it's got the RCA red and white plugs in the back of the TV. Like, what the heck? I mean, they just really went
Mhm.
all out, and I
They
love
did.
it. Every part of it is just awesome. Even the little, bunny ear antenna in the back. It's just, wow. Good job, Lego. Good job.
I remember hearing that, like, oh, when they announced we're making a Nintendo, an NES set, and I was like, oh, that's cool. It'll be like an NES sculpted on Lego. But then, like, that they actually included the TV, like,
Yeah.
that takes it to. I was like, whoa, like,
I know. Yeah. And then
amazing.
the movement on there, that's just
Mhm.
unbelievable.
It even connects to the Mario figure. Evan notes. Yeah, you
Ah, yes.
I think you use Super Mario and then it starts to play like the music.
Hmm.
Very cool. And even the
Yeah.
screen, it looks it looks just like the level.
It honestly really does. And it even feels like, I mean, obviously it's Lego and it's not, authentic, it's not real here, but I mean, like when you're looking at it, it feels like it has depth,
It
right?
does.
Because it's like the screen is set in there, and so it
Hmm.
feels the same way that like the old tube TVs felt,
They really
honestly,
do.
because it had like that roundedness to the edges there. I mean,
Mm.
I don't even understand how amazing it is,
I want that set
really good.
so much. That's like a top tier set for
I
me
did
right
too.
now.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's on the list. It's on the
It's
list.
the ever
Yep.
growing list that'll never be complete.
I know. Besides all the stuff that's under the table over there waiting to be built.
Don't make me think
Yeah,
about it.
I know. Yeah.
Uh,
Yep. All right, but that's what I got. Let's move
yep.
on to numero dos.
This came
Ah,
up
yes.
earlier. This
Yes,
is the
that's right.
Daily Bugle. I put it at
Uh-huh.
number 2. So what I'll allow you to give me your thoughts first.
Well, first off, I'm gonna say OMG to this comment.
An extra what? NES?
Oh my gosh.
Can I have it?
Yeah. We'll split it.
We're friends. Oh yeah, you get the TV, I get the console.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay, so the Bugle, yeah,
Oh man,
just phenomenal. It's like 25 minifigs, isn't it? Like
insane.
that's a ton. They went like everywhere, and I never would have expected that in specifically this set. Like I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking of Spider-Man. I'm thinking of Daily Bugle. I'm not thinking of literally every single superhero you could mention in Marvel.
Like
Um,
every character that's interacted with Spider-Man and his
yeah,
grandma appears in
yeah,
this
that's
set.
right. Yeah,
Like
I know it's awesome.
I
Uh,
love the way that we have the broken window with the Green Goblin just like
that is
bursting out.
so cool.
The
Yeah.
like Doc Ock hanging off the side. You've got Firestar blasting off. Like there's so many like ways that like it's not just a skyscraper, that it comes alive and it really feels like a part of
Yeah,
this like
yeah,
living, breathing Spider-Man city.
it absolutely does. And like Lego Creator mentioned, there are
Yeah.
numerous unique minifigs for this set,
We got
exclusive. Yeah.
Daredevil, Punisher, who else? We've got Black Cat, Firestar, this version of J. Jonah Jameson. Am I
I love J.
forgetting?
Jonah Jameson.
Who am I forgetting? I know that like some of like the
Mysterio.
no,
Is he not?
he's included elsewhere in like the junior
Okay.
sets. But
Oh,
there's a
that's
couple that
right.
are hard to find, like that version of Miles Morales and
Hmm.
Spider Gwen, like you said. Doc Ock, I think, might be exclusive.
Let's see. Okay. Yeah.
Can we get a DC building that is fantastic? I don't know. Quick sidebar. What do you think if they do a DC set like this? What do they do?
I think we need like Lex Luthor's tower, or honestly, like I would actually be more along the lines of like Wayne Manor,
I agree.
with like
That's
a
the choice.
separate set that you can buy that is the Bat Cave underneath of it,
Oh,
like how
not just
you
all one
had
set.
the Jabba's palace and Rancor pit underneath of it. My mind went
Mm,
straight to that same thread, because then you can do whichever one you prefer or link them both together, and you've got this epic Wayne Manor with the Bat Cave underneath. Oh, I do like the suggestion of Wayne
taking the
Tower
train.
with the train through it. Yeah, yeah, that
Hmm.
would be a really cool one
That would be
too.
very
I
cool.
don't I don't think that the Daily Planet. I don't. Maybe that could be actually that could be kind of
It's
fun, like Daily Bugle and
uh,
Daily Planet. But
yeah,
I
but
don't
then
know.
it would. They'd probably be like it's like competing with each other. Like it's a very similar concept.
Yes, it is. It's true. Yeah, more Justice League and less Batman. Yeah, Batman's like their breadwinner right now on DC, and there's not a
I
whole
like
lot else
Batman.
going for it
There's not.
in terms of what is super popular right now. So it's tough. Like DC is having a rough time right now. We kind of went into that in
Uh,
one of our other episodes too.
I did hear today that James Gunn and someone else is kind of like basically like the front runner now for DC. Like
Uh huh.
he's gonna, and I mean that's great news because James Gunn makes great stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
honestly, anything that James Gunn has done like related to DC is the best stuff. I don't know if you watched the Suicide Squad and
Mm-hmm.
Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Peacemaker show was amazing.
Which Lego creator mentioned the Suicide Squad would be a good grouping, and also Doom Patrol.
There is not even a slim chance that Lego will ever produce anything
not
with the
gonna
word
put that word
on it. They are never going to do
Yeah.
that. They are not. They're going to give you maybe some of the characters separately in different sets, but we will never, ever, ever see the Suicide Squad. It's just not going to happen.
The Unalive League.
Oh my God, I'm done.
I'm sorry.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes,
another feature I
G-Will's a
like
great
about
set.
this set is the way it's got the little newspaper stand. All the different floors. It feels like you could go and live in it. Or work there at least.
Yeah, I saw these it's like the little workspaces in there.
It's a kind of great little workspace. It'd be kind of fun to like swap out the office characters and kind of like
yeah. Oh man. Jeez. Yeah. Pam, our copy maker is not working. Yeah. That's good.
Well, what do you have at number 2?
All right. My number 2 is a very recent addition to Lego's lineup, and probably not surprising for some people who are watching today. The Lion Knight's Castle.
I wanted to put this on my top 10.
Oh yeah. What an incredible set. And
incredible.
Just being such a strong fan of Castle all growing up, it was among my top themes growing up. And this is like the capstone of Castle. I mean, it's just, I don't have words for it. I mean, you've got 4,500 pieces, 22 minifigures. It's a gift to us as a community. I feel like the little details that they flung all throughout the entire build, just even as you're looking through the instructions and the little comments that are in there from the wizard, and it's just, I can't believe the way that they did this. Yeah, and as Lego creator mentioned, the factions in it, just incredible. Like, really appreciate all this nods to different even mentioning Basil the Bat Lord in that little letter in there.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't even have to, like, now we have a connection to Fright Nights in the Castle lineage here.
You know how I feel about connecting to Fright Nights, like
absolutely. Yeah. I will say I might have a Fright Nights build coming soon here. So this is entirely full of bricks.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, you're not. I can't say anymore. This is like
the
top
thing that I've told you about.
We'll talk after.
Yes. So yeah,
I love this set. This is gorgeous.
Me too.
It even has the old toilet.
Yeah.
Oh
my gosh. Yeah.
Breaking
up
the brown
frog. Oh my gosh.
Brad has made more videos on this than any human alive has probably made on this set. So go check his out if you want details. But it's so massively impressive, and I can't wait to get that set and find a place for it.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, and the way that you can display it either closed or open is amazing. And hi to the people who have just joined. Hey, we've got Ethan, who just said hello as well. Hey, man. Hope we're doing you justice here.
We're doing our best.
Let's see. 90th anniversary Castle and Blacksmith would be on the top 10 list. Yeah, I have the Blacksmith. I haven't built it yet. I'm saving that for the right time. But yeah,
I thought about putting that on my list also. But yeah, it's a great set.
Well, yep. I had to put the Castle on the top there. I think though, because the portcullis and the fabric flag at the top. I mean, they just nailed every aspect, every single aspect of it. Yes, and not to mention the little nook with the forest mint, for Pete's sake. Like, wow.
That's a set. Like, if I built, I would shamelessly play with that set all day.
Man, yeah.
Most of my sets, I try to pretend that they're adult things. That I would actually just play with that one all day.
There's not even any pretense.
Not even any pretense with that one. I'm sorry.
Not even sorry. Awesome. Well, that brings us now to the number 1 set from Matticus's picks.
What do you think it's going to be?
Oh, I don't know. It could be so many things. Oh, man.
Well, it's not that much of a shocker. I don't know if it's surprising you right now, but it is an unexpected gathering from The Hobbit.
I love this.
This was the set that I remember seeing that made me really believe in the potential of Lego as more than just a toy.
Mm.
I think like I was like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. Like the sculpting of like the Hobbit hole. And it's like such a
Mhm.
cozy place, an iconic location from, one of my favorite, my one of my favorite book series and my favorite film series
Oh,
also.
yeah.
And it came out around the time that the new Hobbit movie, the first Hobbit, was coming out. And I got it for Christmas that year. Just got a lot of really fond memories of building this as I was getting back into Lego. And it also was really how I, really started to get into Tolkien at the time when those movies were coming
Oh,
out.
yeah. Yeah.
And I learned a lot of building techniques from this, the way that they build the window sideways. Also
Yeah.
the snot being used to make the curve around Bilbo's little door to the Hobbit hole. And then, just the nice little details inside, the little book that he's writing, the little, like, the dinner with everything,
Yeah.
the garden out front. It's such a nice little set. It proves that, I have it right here, actually.
I had a feeling you probably would.
A Lego set doesn't have to be enormous in order to be a really great little impressive piece. Like if I had to just narrow it down to one little Lego set, like this would do it all for me. Like this is what I love about Lego. It looks great on the outside, nice on a shelf, and then you turn it around and I mean I have the entire dwarf party hanging out,
Yes.
but it's a nice cozy little scene inside, and it's a little world in the palm of my hands, and that to me is a beautiful thing. That's why I love Lego. So that's why I love this set so much.
You know what? That perfectly encapsulates it, I feel
Yep.
like. Yeah, that's beautiful.
It's just the perfect
Um,
one.
Now, I mean, to be fair, they could have given us all 13 dwarves, but,
In the set, yeah, right.
where would
No,
you put them?
you had to collect them by buying all of the sets,
Yes,
which
collect
I
them all.
did.
Nice, nice. Yeah. I
Yep,
love that. Yeah, great building techniques in that too, and for such a
absolutely.
compact set,
And
that's
it's
really
aged
cool.
well. This is 2012. It's aged well. It
Yeah,
still
you
looks
wouldn't
great.
think it'd be that old, yeah.
Yeah, it's old. But yep,
That's
this is it.
awesome.
This is
Yeah,
my
what a
number one.
good pick.
Thank
Totally
you.
unexpected.
That's quite unexpected. It is
An
rather
unexpected journey.
we're going on an unexpected journey. That's right.
Oh, man. Well,
I would
to,
love to know.
well, I love what you said about it. It doesn't have to be an enormous set in
Oh.
order to be the best set on your list. By contrast, I went with an enormous set.
I was, when you said that, I was thinking you were gonna pick some like tiny little like, classic set,
Yeah, yeah.
a battle pack.
Nope. Sure didn't. Yeah. So, I mean, it's
Oh,
no
wow.
surprise when you see the UCS Millennium Falcon on anybody's top 10 list. And I'll tell you the reason that this is on mine is because this is the most accurate representation that we've ever had of this arguably probably the most iconic Star Wars ship that has ever been made.
Yeah.
So, with over 7,500 pieces,
Mm.
two different configurations with that little radar dish, it doesn't get any better than that in terms of a Star Wars set. I feel like. I mean, when somebody thinks of Star Wars, even if they're not a fan, generally
You
that's
think of
going to come
that.
to mind. Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, I don't think that Lego could have done better with what they did here. What are
It's
your thoughts?
absolutely perfect. I see it over there sitting in the shipping box, and it's just
Yeah.
like, "Build
Mhm.
me, build me!" Like, it is where am I gonna put you? Um,
Build me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
oh, no. Anytime I've seen this set in person, I have to stare at it for a while because it's just so
Oh, yeah.
massive, so impressive. Um, that is that set that is Star Wars. Like, that is, like, the Star Wars-y
Yeah.
thing, you know? I feel like whenever I tell people, like, "Oh, I'm into Lego. I collect Lego," they always ask, "Do you have the Millennium Falcon?" And,
Yeah, that's
like,
right.
that's the one that people who don't know a darn thing about Lego know
Yeah,
that this
yeah.
set exists.
You're
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, you mean the microfighter, right?" "Yes, I do.
Oh,
I have
yeah,
2 of
the
them."
little one that fits in my pocket.
Yeah. Yeah.
The one from the, advent calendar. Um,
Yeah. Yep.
yeah. That honestly is a stellar pick for number one. I'm surprised that I didn't guess that you would pick it, but, there you go.
No, yeah, that was the top of my list. Did we build the new Razor Crest yet? Haven't seen the comparison with this. So no, I have not. I have not made that purchase yet. But I'll tell you, from my perspective, I won't be buying the new Razor Crest in the near future because my priority for a large and expensive set is going to be on ones that are more likely to retire in the near future versus ones that we have just gotten.
Hmm.
In
For
an
Princess
unlimited
Cat.
money world, I would have all of them already. But since we have a finite amount of time left for
And
some of these
dollars.
sets and dollars, my priority unfortunately has to be on some of the older ones that are going to go bye-bye. Otherwise, I won't ever get them. So, yeah, I would love to have the new Razor Crest. The old one was already incredible.
Honestly, really great.
Just so cool. So yeah, yeah, hopefully I'll eventually have that, but yeah,
With
not
no
today.
hope. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, no hope. Yeah,
Build me
we're
Obi-Wan
doomed.
Kenobricks. You're my only hope.
Oh man. He
Uh,
said try to do the same. Yeah, yep. Oh, Castle. Yeah, I got you. Yep, that
yep.
is a good exception. I appreciate that
Yeah.
exception.
Yeah, that's a great. You got to get that set. That's another one that
Yep.
I'm just like. It's one of those sets I need to buy in the near
Oh
future.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm very very in favor of getting that very soon. But
Hmm.
yeah, I mean that's what I got. That's what I've
That's
got.
our top
So
10 sets. Yeah.
yeah. So
Honestly, that was a fun little exercise. I love seeing your list. I'm surprised that I was not able to predict most of what was on your list, to be honest.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yours went in totally different directions than I expected too. So
Hmm.
that was super cool. And again, like I said, I probably would build a completely different list tomorrow. So try me tomorrow and see what I got. So
I build a different list the next time we build a podcast.
that's right. Yeah. Well, any final remarks or thoughts?
Thank you for having me on the show.
Always a
Honestly,
pleasure.
yeah. Listen, I regret that Ethan couldn't be here to join us tonight, but I had a great
Yes,
time discussing all of these wonderful Lego related things with you.
absolutely. Likewise, it was a lot of fun doing this today,
Yep.
and hopefully, you guys will continue watching with us
Yep.
and listening wherever you get your fine podcasts. Thanks again. Expect us again here next Wednesday, probably same time. We're narrowing that down now, but again, you guys are awesome. Have a great day.
Good night.